So this week is the last week of this game. Next Friday, we start Fallout 4, the Far Harbor DLC. I've had it, but I've never actually done any of the missions, so we're going to start that. If you enjoy the show and you want to connect with me or my awesome community even more, consider joining our private Discord. It's a great place where we hang, have exclusive chats, play games together, and post memes. Plus, you get special perks as a subscriber, such as voting for the next video or merch design. Now, let's go. So today's biblical topic is Eve's apple debate. So what if I told you Eve never ate an apple? That's right. The fruit that was supposedly doomed humanity wasn't an apple at all. So what did Eve actually eat? And what does it actually matter? Let's dive into the truth behind the famous biblical story and debunk one of the most common misconceptions. So in Genesis 3, verses 1 through 7 describes an event, but never specifies what fruit it was that doomed us all. The text refers to it as the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden. So the Bible doesn't name the fruit. The emphasis on the story does not mean the fruit's identity was an actual apple, but in the fact of disobedience against God's command. The fruit serves as a symbol of temptation and the consequences of straying from his divine will. I'm throwing out all of my fruit. All fruit is bad. Got it. No, all fruit's not bad. It's the intention behind it, and I'll explain that in a minute. Also, apple in the Middle English word was just a generic fruit name. I know, and I'm going to tell you the name of it. Smart. Is it like malum? M-A-L-U-M? So the idea that the fruit was an apple likely stems from the Latin translation issue and cultural influences in the Western art and literature. The Latin word malum can mean both evil and apple, which may lead to early Christian scholars and artists associated with the two. So just because they used the word that was associated with apple and evil, everyone started thinking it was an apple. So Renaissance artists often depict a forbidden fruit such as an apple, solidifying the imagery in the public. What they say it was, we actually envision it. As Christianity spread to Europe, the apples were more abundant and culturally significant. This association became even more entrenched. What really happened, it's the importance of the act, not the fruit. Make you... Oh, mommy, no. Bad mommy. Violent she is. So the core of the story is not what Eve ate, but why she ate it. Eve and Adam's decision to eat the fruit represented their choice in disobeying God and seeking knowledge on their own terms, leading to significant spiritual consequences. The fruit symbolized knowledge, temptation, and a broader theme of humans being prioritizing their desire over God's will. So they didn't even know that they were naked until they ate from that fruit. And then they went and hid from God because they knew they were actually in trouble. This act of disobedience resulted in the loss of innocence, the introduction of sin into the world, and the beginning of humanity's separation from God. So take it as if demon tells his kid not to do something, and he does it anyway. You get to deal with the consequences, don't you, buddy? Same as Eve did something she wasn't supposed to. If someone better than me told me that I wasn't supposed to know something, I think I should listen to them. Only if they knew better than me. They'd be naked. Yeah, they was naked. Then they put leaves on themselves for clothing. So moving beyond the fruit. So by focusing on the type of fruit, we risk missing the deeper lesson about disobedience, temptation, and the human condition. The fruit's identity is less important than what it represents. Humanity's tendency to choose self-will over divine guidance. So consider how the story applies in your life. Are there areas where you're tempted to prioritize your desires over what's actually right to be done at that moment? How do your daily choices reflect your relationship with God and your adherence for moral principles? Jesus said it doesn't matter what you eat, it's what comes out of your heart. Yes, it's not what matters that you take in, it's what comes out, because that is the actual fruit of your heart. I'm worried about my heart's condition because there's a lot of garbage comes out. I even got a band to start snapping myself every time I think something stupid. My arm's going to hurt by the end of the day. So the apple myth sticks around because of a mix of language quirks and cultural differences. I'm going to have a permanent bruise because it's always on this side too. So this vein is going to be like sticking way out. So the Latin word malum, which means both apple and evil, likely started the confusion. The Renaissance artist painted the forbidden fruit as an apple, making it a popular image. While different Christian traditions may make their own have their own takes on the story, the real lesson is about the act of disobedience and the consequences. It's not the type of fruit, it was the intention behind it. The important part is understanding how humanity chose to go against God's command. They could have done anything. You were told not to do one thing. One job. You had one job. So, what if it was an apple? Even if the fruit was an apple, the story's significance would not change. The lesson is about the spiritual and moral implications of Adam and Eve's choices, not the specific type of fruit. The fruit's identity is not the main issue. The real focus is on the consequences of Adam and Eve's choice and what it teaches us about human nature, temptation, and obedience. Let's move beyond the apple and reflect on the choices we face every day. How do we respond to temptation? How do we choose between what is right and what is easy? Thank you for joining me on exploring a very important story, and let's continue to seek understanding and growth together.